Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. I am Lindsay, the housewife historian, and today we are going to be talking about the Real Housewives of New York and New Jersey and everything that's been going on this weekend. And I just wanted to hop on a live and chat with you guys really quickly about some of those things. So, first of all, everything in this video is alleged. I'm not going to play a intro for you guys. So, of course, everything in this video is alleged, and a great free way to support my channel is to hit the like button. It really does make a difference. Let's get started with the Real Housewives of Miami. We had a big announcement coming from Lenny, aka Dr. Lenny Hodgkins. Hey, Catherine. Lenny proposed to his girlfriend. He's not quite divorced from Lisa yet, but you don't have to be divorced to buy rings. So Dr. Lenny, aka the boob god down there in Miami, decided it was time for him to propose to his model girlfriend. I don't know what to call her. I guess she is technically a fiance, but he hasn't divorced Lisa yet. So it does seem a little bit awkward for him to be proposing to this model girlfriend on the beach. I posted a photo about it. I think I also posted it in the community section for you guys on YouTube as well. I know some of you aren't on Instagram or TikTok. And Tracy says that Lisa had the best comeback. Didn't she say, I think I saw it last night, but I can't remember. She's posted something like, congratulations to my husband and the homewrecker, or his homewrecker girlfriend, or something like that. I kind of wonder what Lisa's new boyfriend would think of that. Hi, Yo-Yo. I missed you. I hope you're doing well. How does my audio sound, guys? I'm using new audio from, I can never say their name, so I always show you guys. I love them because look how little, and I just clip it on. So hopefully you guys can hear me good. And it comes with a great iPhone extension. I love that. So, because iPhones are really hard to find attachments like with for audio and stuff, even though they have the best camera. It's really weird how they do it. But anyways, guys, getting back, so Lenny proposed. He is getting engaged. We're excited for him. Did you guys watch The Real Housewives of New York? And did you guys watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta? I wanted to touch about a couple of things about New York. This is a disclaimer warning. If you have not seen the episode, then you might want to wait to watch this video. Okay, good. Catherine says my audio sounds great. Awesome. Okay, we come back to the Real Housewives of New York. Did you guys watch and did you see the two truths and one lie? Jezel says that her two truths, it ends up being that she says she got a popsicle stuck during eggs in her vajayjay. Okay. At the two truths and a lie. And so everyone is like really shocked by this. And I was a little shocked too. It seems like they talk about sex a lot on the Real Housewives of New York. And I don't know if because like sex sells, but everyone's two truths and a lie was about having sex in a Senators or at a Knicks game or at Central Park. And Bryn was talking about riding people doggy style. Also want to touch base on Bryn. Make sure you guys comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Oh man, I think I turned my audio off. Okay. Let me know what your thoughts are, you guys watching New York. Erin, I love her. She reminds me a lot of Sarah Jessica Parker, even though I think she's way prettier. But she gives me a little bit of that New York vibe, like Sarah Jessica Parker does. I also saw a recent interview of Jenna Lyons and Andy Cohen. I'm going to tell you guys something right now. Look out for Jenna Lyons. Number one, the woman is very intelligent. She's very humble. Okay, I've done a little bit of research on her. I really really like her. Everything that I've seen about her, she remains the same. The way she speaks, her mannerisms, everything really is consistent across the board, even from interviews that she did in 2020 or like after the shortly after the pandemic. So that is impressive. But also I think she has a lot of connections in New York City, and I think that she is very high on the social circle of things. She was with Andy Cohen on Good Morning America a couple of weeks ago, and I think that he's kind of taking her in as like his, you know how Andy Cohen does, right? You know how Andy Cohen is. We saw blind items that Andy Cohen wasn't even interested in bringing the Real Housewives of New York back, and he was actually against it. And it was other executives that overrode his decision. And allegedly, he was feeling a little frustrated when it was it's starting to be successful because he wasn't for it. And we also heard that he did the same thing with Miami. He didn't want to bring Miami back, which I believe because Miami didn't, they had like a 6-year break. I don't think they had plans to bring Miami back. And now that they did, you guys know Miami's killing it. Everyone loves Miami. Um, we have Barbara saying, "Hi everyone." Um, Bryn also, I really like her, even though I know that I love that the ladies are giving shade in their confessionals, but they're not necessarily talking shit. So let me give you guys a couple examples of that. When Bryn showed up, they had the hot trainer there, and Uma was like really flirting with him. Um, I love her. She's very funny. She's very upbeat. She has great energy. But she's single. And so it turns out Bryn had already met the trainer several times. So obviously she's kind of flirting with him, but not in a fictive, like in any sort of vindicate, to be vindictive. She just shows up, they're working out, the hot trainer's there, and Bryn knows him, right? And it reminded me a lot of the Real Housewives of New York old school, when we would see Sonia and Ramona, the tennis lesson trainer would show up and he would be this hot young man, and it just seemed a lot like that, right? Until Bryn came and Uma was there, because if not, it would have been like this young hot trainer and like these, upper class women in their late 40s and early 50s. Barbara says, "I'm not happy about Miami moving to Bravo. They're going to ruin the show like they ruined all of the others." So, Barbara, I, have talked about this before, that I'm not happy about Miami moving to Bravo from Peacock, mostly because I don't like the way that Bravo runs things, as in like they leave us hanging, they leave us breadcrumbs. Peacock gave us like 3 episodes to start. They would drop extra episodes sporadically. They had a much longer season than we see Bravo giving like New Jersey and Beverly Hills and these other franchises. And I think that viewers like that because they get a little bit more engaged and they get a little bit more invested. It just seems like with the Real Housewives franchises on Bravo, they're just trying to like grasp any storyline that will stick and get through the season and give us 14 episodes. And I feel like that with Beverly Hills right now. I feel like that with New Jersey. Like they don't let things just play out. I mean, they only filmed for 3 or 4 months, I think, in Beverly Hills, right? Atlanta allegedly filmed the reunion, and that there was like a lack of content, so much so that Andy was like off and headed to the Hamptons early, which doesn't surprise me, but saddens me at the same time, because I really think that this was a make or break season for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because now we've had several bad seasons, okay? And we can't expect Candy and Kenya to carry everything. We've got Sheree back. Sheree's great at being the bone collector. She's great at getting the storyline moving. I love Sheree, but for Sheree, like herself, she's got not Tyrone. Tyrone was the ex. I'm sorry. She's the new boyfriend. He's on reality show. I think that that's gonna hold her place on Atlanta, with him being on another Bravo, franchise. Um, Back to New York. So the ladies and their shade in their confessionals. Bryn and Uma kind of pretend like they are fighting over the trainer, and it goes to Bryn in the confessional, and she says like, Uma has no coordination. It's so funny to watch her work out, but she says like you can't have it all, because she's like this beautiful swan and she is killing it in every other category, killing it. And so it would only make sense that she, at the very least, the only thing that could be wrong with her is that she doesn't have a great coordination. So I really love that about Bryn and the other ladies. Like, their shade is not mean and really, really hateful. It's just more fun for right now. Give them a couple of years. They'll get some resentments going. Also some news about Bryn. Allegedly some back money owed on taxes and some liens. A little suspicious that we haven't seen Bryn's house. We know that Bryn is, I think, about my age. So she would have graduated like 2004-ish. I've tried to do a little bit of research because I know that she told us she was in California. She was friends with Pandora. She lived at the Vanderpump residence. They gave her a Range Rover to drive, and she pretty much gave them a thank you at the Real Housewives of New York premiere. I'm thinking that must have been around like 2006, 7, or 8, because people are like, well, why wasn't she on Vanderpump Rules? Yada, yada, yada. Well, Vanderpump Rules and Beverly Hills they weren't anything yet. So I think Bryn sort of missed the era when Lisa Vanderpump was really having her come up on Bravo and reality TV world. So now they needed her for New York. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to listen, but NYC Gal Out, she does a podcast. I join her on Wednesdays, and we typically talk about New York, and we discussed like where Bryn is originally from Indiana. Then she went to California, and she allegedly was working like PR or something. And when Vanderpump Rules was casting, she was asked, and to her, it sounded like a downstep to go from working her, 9 to 5. Well, I don't know what she worked, but what an office job to serving and bartending. She didn't want to do that. So it does have people questioning. We had another Real Housewives of New York woman. She was casted. She filmed, I heard, for several weeks. Some people heard she filmed longer. Her name was Lizzie. And we know that she backed out. It wasn't Bravo giving her the boot. She, for whatever reason, while filming, she backed out. And so because of that, New York's first episode seemed a little bit strange. People were asking, like, are we going to see Lizzie? I don't think we're going to see her. I think they cut her from everything. I don't know if they had to do that per her contract or as a courtesy, or if they did it to be hateful. I'm not really sure. But either way, if anyone knows why Lizzie did not want to be a part of the Real Housewives of New York anymore, if you guys could comment, I would love that, right? The women also talk about their childhoods. I love that Sai seems very humble. She talks about her childhood. She references not having a lot of money when she was growing up, and Bryn relates to her on this. I thought it was like a very tender moment when Bryn was like, my inner child is sort of holding hands with Sai's inner child, because we can relate to, dollar store Christmas trees. I appreciate the humility, and I think everyone, loves a come up. Everyone loves to see a rags to riches, if you will, story. So Sai also, side note for all of you, I didn't know this. So Sai lives in a brownstone, right, in Brooklyn. Those are very expensive. We've seen all of the ladies' residents. I love that Bravo pulled women from different boroughs of New York City, and we didn't get just upper Manhattan women, because a lot of people are saying they love the diversity of the group. They love that this is a much better representation of what New York is like and what people in New York are like as well. What else did I want to say about that? Love Jenna Lyons. She also, I think, is very deep. And that's what else I like about her. She left the first night because she had said, like, she's in her 50s, number one. Number two, you can tell she's not comfortable around a lot of women. She does better with a one-on-one situation. I don't know what she still does for work. I have to find that out. I thought maybe it was Beverly Hills, but she seems to have said that she had a call in the morning. That's why she left Aaron's house and went to her own Hampton house. And I think it's okay to say this, guys. If there's a group of ladies and you're traveling a couple of hours away from home and you're all set to stay somewhere, and by chance you happen to own a home a couple of minutes down the road, you're gonna want to go stay in your house. It's just how it is. You sleep better in your own home. Like they should have just like, I just want to sleep at home. Like, it's my Hampton house. I'm comfortable there. Like, that's where I want to sleep. Okay, we got Tracy says Lizzie got anti-Semitic hate, including death threats. Thank you very much, Tracy. Well, that is very tragic. I'm sorry to hear that she was unable to continue filming because of that. That's terrible. I agree with you about women in Bravo. Honestly, I think they seem through the eyes of gay men is why. I love my gay men friends. Please, no offense. You mean like towards a genre, Deb? I know that like Erica Girardi, when they went through her and Tom's finances, Erica, I don't know why. I hope my internet's okay. They paid a company to basically evaluate Erica, evaluate her performance and her music, and then find a genre of people to market it to. This is not an uncommon thing that people in marketing do. Like, they'll market something towards single moms or towards women or towards men or hunters, whatever the case may be. But allegedly, they said that she would be best in the LGBTQ community. And so allegedly, when she was performing and not getting paid for her performance, and actually Tom was paying for everyone to travel, she wasn't getting any sort of sponsorships, if you will, that she would gear towards the LGBTQ community, because that's where they had said she would be most loved and accepted, and probably, would be marketed the best for her. Erin also is hosting all of the ladies in her home, but you can tell like they're complaining about the heat, they're complaining about the food. Sai's complaining in her confessionals that she's starving. She's a content creator, guys. We see her bring tons and tons of outfits with her. She was probably taking lots of video and audio and photos, but I'm wondering how much of that profit does she have to share with Bravo? With everything that's been going on, if you don't know, the writers in Hollywood are on strike, and Bethany has been standing up and speaking out, I guess, on behalf of Real Housewives, if you will. If they want her representation, then she's happy to put them on the list, I guess. I'm not really sure how that's working, but she is the only person that she feels qualified and in a position to speak on a lot of the ladies' behalf on things that had happened and Bravo and the benefits and there not being a union and just a lot of things she's talking about. Heavy things, heavy things. And other the housewives are allegedly joining her. She also did a video where she said that she's speaking to a outlet, only one news outlet, but um so, I don't know if she's saying like they're gonna try to expose Bravo, but she said that she has women that have HR issues. um she kind of alluded to SA a little bit too, but not, but kind of. So I'm just wondering what Bethany has up her sleeve, if she's like gonna come out with a Hulu series on like Bravo and what a nightmare it is to work there. I don't know. Could you guys see that? I could never really see like that getting published or anything, because obviously Bravo is NBC Universal. So if we're talking about Bravo, we're talking about the entire network. We're talking about Cyrus. We're talking about production. So I don't know if Bethany is ready to take that on, but she's definitely been making the rounds on TikTok and Instagram. And it's also interesting because there's a young lady that goes, her name is actually Bunny, and she married well, and then of course created some sort of company and started making TikToks in her closet. She allegedly was going to do a reality show. I'm not sure if Bethany was producer on this reality show, because let's not forget that Bethany has tried to do a lot of things to Housewives. She had a talk show. She had something with like her dogs and like a business show. She did her podcast and then she revamped it to Housewives. She went on Watch What Happens Live with Jeff Lewis, and it kind of seemed like she was trying to take Andy on, and she just really seems to be trying to stay in the press. But I usually love and support Bethany, but since following Bunny and seeing the information that she posted about this contract that Bethany had these reality stars in, or soon to be reality stars in, when COVID hit, and how they had to give them like 30% of their income from her TikToks, even in her closet, money off of everything that she made for the rest of her life on certain things. I mean, the contract was insane, and she posted it. I'm pretty sure she posted it. If you don't know, go to Bravo Boo on Instagram. I think it's Bravo_Boo. She posts a lot about Bunny and the situation with Bethany and the contract, if you want the receipts for it. Bunny also has an Instagram. I don't know her handle offhand, but she's like a little pretty young blonde thing, and she does videos on TikTok and Instagram from her closet. So you'll know that it's her. And she spoke out against it. I thought that Bethany sent her a cease and desist. I think she also sent a content creator on TikTok a cease and desist. So we have to be careful when discussing her. This says, I'm looking forward to see what will happen with Bethany. Movement with Kelly Dodd has also said she should have gotten, because of the years and layers, we are still watching episodes off season. Okay, Yo-Yo makes a great point here. So a lot of the ladies are feeling frustrated, the housewives, because what happens is they don't make any money off of the reruns, and that is not typical. That's not a typical contract. They're not making any money when they re-air the Real Housewives of Orange County or any of the franchises. And so this is, you know, a problem, I would say. A problem for Bravo, because they probably should have been doing that all along. Kelly Dodd is correct in saying that. And one thing, I think that Kelly has a great thing in Rick, because he's very intelligent. He has a lot of connections. Rick was a Fox 8 newscaster for 25 years. The man knows people. If he doesn't know the information, he likely knows someone who does. And Kelly Dodd, after her and Rick, they didn't dog Bethany, but they kind of talked a little bit of shit about her. And then at the end, Rick's like, but yo, Bethany, we're in. If you're trying to sue them or get some money, honey, like, we're in, girl, we're in. But we're just gonna talk a little shit about you on our show. So, I mean, I feel like Kelly and Rick are killing it on YouTube. They've done what no other housewives have really been able to do. We know that some of them have podcasts, but really, here's the thing: anyone can have a podcast. YouTube channels take a lot of time. You got to do audio and, facial, a lot of prep. It's a lot different than doing an hour podcast that you can edit and post and, just hope that it gets listened to. It's a lot different on YouTube. There's a lot more dynamics. It's a lot more like you're interacting with your subscribers, right? Just like right now, we're interacting. I'm reading your comments, you're answering questions. This doesn't happen on a podcast. And so sadly, I think that, I don't know if it's sadly or not, but I think that that's why YouTube is a little bit more work for creators, because it's a lot more personable. Does says, yes, Cynthia, she really did take on Andy. She has a point. Bravo gets a. Listen, I completely agree. Catherine said, because here's the thing, guys. I've been like screaming about the content creators, saying like Bravo's getting so much free press, so much free publicity. They don't even barely have to advertise, because there's such a housewives community on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Everywhere there is a housewives community, and there are stan accounts, there are fan accounts, there are bloggers, there are influencers, there are just listeners or subscribers. There's a lot going on, and it's a lot of free press and a lot of free attention for Bravo. And then they turn around and they let housewives shut us down, demonetize us, hack us, and also dox us. And so that was part of my frustration with Bravo as well. They're getting a lot for free as it is. They also do nothing for BravoCon, no press passes. No sponsorships. Yo, I liked Kelly. I don't think she's a racist or political any more than the others. The hat was placed on her head because she was funnier on OC. The hat, I don't think, I don't know if that's what got everyone upset, but I didn't think the hat seemed like a drunken moment. Like it was her, they were having kind of like a generic bachelorette party for her because she's already been married, and they were like drinking around the fire, and it was a gift and they put it on her head. Um, there's a lot of discrimination. I agree with you. I love watching Rick and Kelly. They complement each other. Rick does a great job of letting Kelly, he does good at navigating the conversation with Kelly to keep her on point. And when Kelly talks, sometimes she has a lot of good information. She tells us a lot of stuff from behind the scenes. She tells us a lot about how things are filmed, how it goes. And Rick does a great job of like keeping her on subject and getting the information out to us, because sometimes Kelly can get lost, when she's talking. I always hit the like button. Thank you so much, Deb. I appreciate that, guys. It's a great way to support my channel, a great free way. Hit the like button. It helps, you know, get my channel out there. I liked Kelly. Yes, yes, yes. Um, Interesting that again Andy is busy at the reunion. Yes, Green Door. I've talked about this before because of the fact that I think it's very, oh my gosh, not, it's like very boastful to be getting paid the money that these reality stars are getting paid, especially Andy Cohen, for him to sit on a couch to do the Housewives reunion and to complain and tell them to hurry up because he has dinner plans is ridiculous, right? Do any of you guys ever go into work and say, like, you have to work a double, or if you're a server, it's like a holiday, you're going to be there late? It's the same exact thing. Like, you're going to have a long day at work when you film the reunion. Andy, don't make dinner plans afterwards. But it doesn't look like he had dinner plans. It looked like he had Hampton plans. So he probably didn't care that they didn't have a lot of content, and he's going to blame it on them, and he could be out the door and on his way to his happy place. Lindsay, did you hear what Kyle allegedly did to Candy Washington? She got her friend Melissa to do what to do. YouTube demonetized her. Oh my, without one strike. I did not know that, Deb. Candy Washington, I haven't, unfortunately, guys, I'm busy. I don't have a chance to always support or just watch other creators all the time. You guys know I follow and support a lot of creators. David from Behind the Velvet Rope, Andy the BH, and I Candy Washington, every experience I've ever had with her, she's been so sweet, so nice. I was actually on a panel with Candy on the Real Andy BH last year on Beverly Hills. I think that was when was first really starting to you know, do her thing, if you will. And she's really pretty girl. And I am sorry to hear that happened to her. I hope that she gets that figured out. But again, the frustration in this, because the Real Andy BH allegedly experienced the same exact thing, guys. He just woke up and his channel was demonetized, and that was his whole sole income. And they know this, and Bravo knows that this stuff is going on. They don't want you to be able to reach their legal team. They don't want you to be able to reach out and explain to them the situation of what's transpired. They don't care. It's giving them more and more press. That's all it really does. She's West Coast more, but doesn't do Jersey. It was Melissa's help through Kyle. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you. Actually, I'm so glad that you said that, Deborah. I'm going to be posting on Instagram, and I'm going to be posting on YouTube on the community. I found all of these photos of Melissa and Kyle from like 2010, 2008, I think is the oldest one. And I've pointed this out before on Instagram, but people don't always pick it up, right? What I'm putting down. But Melissa and Kyle are friends. They've been friends for, maybe they're not best friends, but they have a relationship, even if it's just work that they talk about. And they don't want us to know that they're friends either. That's another red flag. Here's the thing. There's photos of Kyle and Melissa from like 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then Photo stop. Also, go back to the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. How did Kyle and Melissa act? Like they were just getting to know each other. But they were definitely closer and friendlier with each other than Kyle was with Teresa. Go back and pay attention to that. It's really crazy. Yeah. I mean, I cannot believe it. It crazy. Crazy. Yoga says, Deb, what? I didn't know about Candy. I didn't know about that either. And again, guys, it's the fact that Kyle and Melissa don't want us to know that they're friends. Okay. Like, also, side note, this happened with Tamra. Tamra and Kyle are friends too, and they don't want us to know that. How do we know that for sure? Because on the Two T's in a Pod podcast, when the original episode, they very first started talking about the Real Housewives of New Jersey and the situation with Teresa and Melissa, Tamra basically sided with Teresa, right? When they were the first episode, they really talked about what happened with Melissa and the show and Teresa and this and that. And then the next episode, Tamara says that Melissa called her and was upset and she wanted to apologize. And then Tamara changed her whole story. And after that moment, she's been going after Teresa since. So I'm telling you, there's a triangle there. It's Melissa, Tamara, and Kyle. Beverly Hills, OC, and New Jersey. They give each other such tactics, right? We've seen how Beverly Hills has always, in the last, I don't know, 5, 6 years, they find a target and everyone goes after that person and they use that storyline and they beat it to death and they beat it to death again at the reunion. And we don't see much of any of the other ladies. We'll just see like one major storyline with one of the women and then we'll see them get, kicked off the following year. That's what happens in Beverly Hills. We started to see that happening in New Jersey, and that's because Melissa is taking cues from Kyle, allegedly. Okay. And with Tamra wanting to be in the circle, again, Kyle and Andy, they are like Bethany and Andy used to be, right? So Tamra wants in with anyone that's going to help her stay on the Real Housewives of Orange County because she's hanging on by a string. She's hanging on by a thread. She goes on Watch What Happens Live. Nobody's talking about when she's on there. She doesn't say anything of relevance or anything that is reposted that people are talking about. Shannon Bedore, as long as she's been on the Real Housewives of Orange County, I think she has more fans and people still interested in her and John and her storyline than a lot of the other women, surprisingly enough. Let's see here. Wait, hold on. Candy cried through her video last Thursday because it's so frustrating. She is like you. She knows her stuff about Kyle like you do in New Jersey. Absolutely. And here's the thing, Deb. I will try to reach out to her. I don't know if she's on Instagram or not. I don't know if she has an email address. Deb, if you know an email address or her Instagram handle that you could put in the comments, I would really, really appreciate it because I'm gonna reach out to her. Because here's the thing, when she takes on Kyle, she's taking on Kyle and Kathy as well. Okay, I know a lot of information that I didn't disclose when everything happened with Beverly Hills and the Patrick Summer situation and your mom's watching account and how things were handled um, uh, with Kathy and Kyle together. When it comes to the show, um, when it comes to PR, they have people in place that they call on that are there like that. Okay. And these people make moves like that. And here's the thing with Melissa, allegedly, she has family in the tech world. This isn't these are legitimate demonetizations, right? Like, this isn't like they sat there and just hit the report button 20 times. Okay. That's not what this is. To be completely demonetized with no strikes. Teresa is also competition between Kyle and Teresa. Great point, Yo-Yo. for being the longest standing OG. So that's why Melissa befriended Kyle to go against Teresa. Same with Tamra, told her to go against Trey for clout. I completely agree with this comment 150%. Again, guys, go back and rewatch the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip that had Teresa, Melissa, and Kyle on it. You will see, you could tell Kyle did not mess with Teresa like that. You could tell. And that was surprising because normally Kyle, even if it is competition, she's someone that's like keep your friends close and your enemies closer type deal. Like she would still be in Teresa's face, but because she knows that she has Melissa as an ally, she doesn't need to mess with Teresa. She can, keep the competition. Not an Andy fan anymore. Lost a lot of respect for him in the past year. He forgot how he made all of this money. I agree with you. I think we have seen a very arrogant side of Andy Cohen. I believe I've said this before. He stretched himself way too thin. We want quality over quantity. So if it's too much to, which for anyone it would be too much to write a book, go on a book tour, um, do Real Housewives, do every single reunion, like watch what happens live. It's you can't give the crowd the energy. You can't give the Vanderpump Rules, Southern Charm, Below Deck, all of the other shows that he's also like he needs a plus one. He needs a plus one, and they take like the 15, top lowest rated shows, and they do the reunions and work to get more ratings and put Andy on the more elevated Housewives franchises and shows, and let him do his thing because he is run too thin and he's being very arrogant. I agree with you, Joey. And also because you can see this kind of clearly if you go back and watch the Good Morning America interview with Jenna Lyon when it first comes on, and I cannot remember her name. Oh my gosh. Good Morning America host is introducing Andy, and she's naming off all of his credentials and accomplishments, and he's just sitting there like smiling like this with his head cocked, listening. And then she goes on to introduce Jen, and she's like, and we have, you know, J. Crew, CEO, da 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 da. And his smile immediately drops, and he has serious face. It's like, bro, you can't even take them complimenting your cast. Like, dang. And you would never take a plus one because he's too greedy and he's too afraid he would get fired because he stinks on his job. I think that he is scared to let anyone in as well. I can't say for certain why that is. Part of that, maybe that is his ego. Maybe he likes to go around Bravo and play the martyr. We all know those people at work that like take it all on and they're like, oh my gosh, and I have to do this and I have to do this and I'm gonna do this and this and this. And like, but you want to, you asked for it, you wanted to do it. You wanted to watch what obviously you wanted to write a book. You wanted to go on a book tour and make that money, but aren't you making enough from NBC? Like, when is enough, right? I think that's why we're all kind of looking at him sideways. Andy's like, Melissa, they can't be happy for other people. I agree with you. Melissa and Joe are over in Italy right now, and they're posting, and the posts are very similar to Teresa's posts from her honeymoon. I'm sorry, but they are. In one clip, Melissa actually allegedly uses the same music that Teresa used in one of her videos from her honeymoon. And literally, like, it's a song that nobody would even know. Like, you guys wouldn't know the song. It was like a I don't know, an off song. So it's like definitely for sure she copied it. Wild. But I have to hop off here, guys. I just wanted to come on and chit chat with you guys. I'm going to be posting about New Jersey. I'm going to be posting about New York. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel. Turn your notifications on. We're going to be chatting soon. I'm going to start doing a live every day at the same time. And then that way we can kind of all gather together at the same time and chat Real Housewives. You mean the fast where Melissa pretends to not know Joey Juice? I also posted a great clip on my Instagram of it was a developer talking to Joe Gorga about how Teresa and Joe were building a loft over their garage for his parents. And he then talks about how he had paid for his parents' home for the last 10 years. Then he sold it to find them the perfect home with like no stairs or anything. I don't know. Crazy, but I posted it for you guys. I have a great day. Bye.